I don't got it on. No, we good. We're gonna just do the two cameras. For y'all that don't know, we set up in like a workspace,
Office.
cool. Office. So like, if
we making it
like,
work.
Yeah, we making it work. So we gonna just be transparent, right? So that's why you still see me moving around, just trying to make sure everything, because the nigga worked too hard for this. But yeah, the thing that stood out to me was like, it starts off with saying like you lived in not the poorest of neighborhoods, right? It was like working class people.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And your mom's was like, she was working for y'all.
Yeah.
Something happened when she injured her foot. And I don't want to like give too much of the book, but basically, I feel like I've been stuck, we're talking about proximity. And it's like sometimes you feel like you're forced into doing something that you might not want to do by the influence. And I think your brother was probably the first one that introduced like hustling to you, like, yo, it's time to get up and get it.
Yeah. Little Steve, rest in peace, yeah. You know, when that came, it was just a moment, you know, it was like, I can remember it vivid, like it was yesterday when my mom came home that time and dropped a case of Similac on her feet. And I'm young, but I already knew it was time. I knew what was going on because my brother was already active. People in the community was active. His homies was active. And I was like, you know, I had to step up and help him.
Do you feel like, fast forward a little bit, when you get your first sentence, right, before you get out in, I think, 2001, before you get out, when you get sentenced, you get pulled over for the cops, and like you gotta serve time. Does it ever cross your mind like, man, if it wasn't for my brother, I wouldn't have been.
No, I never look at it. I never look at it like that. You know, I never look at it like that. You know, you can always say no. And I was well aware of what I was doing. I think I was excited about wrong though. The excitement of wrong is something special. It was something special to me. You know, so I just think that's what it was.
So where do you think that came from though? Because I feel like in that situation, that's the easiest thing to do is blame everybody else, except for.
No, you know what, Jay? I always knew. It seemed like very young age, I knew right from wrong. You know, and we not stupid. We know what's right from wrong. You know, you learned it in the house. This is bad. This is good. Do this. Don't do that. And but I was always excited because in my community, like I always tell people, the only people that they respected was the successful criminal. The people that got money, they were the only people that got respected. They was the kings of our neighborhood. It wasn't the working dude, the working class. No, they worried about them. So I always was on, I got to figure out, I got to get some money.
So when you get locked up, what's the first thing that's going through your mind at that time?
The first time or?
The first time. Well, because I know you did some juvenile stuff. Yeah. The first time that you
penitentiary? I was scared, Jay. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, like, I was scared because, you know, like a lot of people don't think about it, but I did. I was like, man, I hope nobody try to rape me in this joint. I thought my ass was on line. I'm just being straight up. Because that's what I thought. I don't care what nobody else say they didn't think. I'm telling you, but I was like, oh shit. You know, you think about stuff like that. I wasn't beefing with nobody and none of that, so I ain't think nobody, but I'm thinking about like, yo, it's predators in this joint. So I don't know. I'm like really like shook about that shit. So, you know, with the help of grace of God, I came out, you know, all right, I ain't get, you know, my innocence ain't get detached from me. So, you know, but I just was scared, man.
Yeah, you know, I want to rewind a little. I'm curious to like, you say you know right from wrong, and of course, you knew that going the gun route wasn't really the route to go.
No, it wasn't. You know, my when I was young,
your big homie.
My stepdad Hip would always tell me it's a brain robbery, not a train robbery. The finesse game is the best game. Them hammers change everything. Once a hammer come in play, everything change in the crime game, and it's like, and I knew I really wasn't built like that to shoot nobody, none of that. But sometimes, you know, the hammer speed up the process when you got the gun on you doing robberies or whatever.
And that's what I was gonna ask. Was it strictly because you seen that it was a lot of money, you could get a lot of money quick. You ain't had to work too much.
When you pull a slam out on somebody, a blower, when them life changes out, everything changed immediately. Speed up the process of whatever you're trying to do.
So that was strictly a money decision. Like I'm gonna just
I wasn't trying to shoot nobody. I wasn't built like that. Yeah. I shoot somebody, I'm probably not here now.
Right.
Kill somebody, you can shoot somebody in the leg, they could die. So I'm like, damn, you know, I'm happy I wasn't built like that, or I, you know, didn't convince myself that I was, you know. So I was like, you know, just trying to get a couple of dollars.
I asked that, bro, because for me, like I came up in Baltimore in the trenches,
it's
right? Like in a project,
yes.
bro. 1121 Tiffany Court, the red door still there, right? And like similar environments, but I always knew that like I did not want to take this route because I see where it get everybody else.
You were smart.
But I'm looking at you now and I feel like you smart.
Yeah, but sometimes we could be smart, and you've seen it in your community before, but we not strong enough to fight off the temptations of the street game and the street culture and the street mentality. So you done seen other dudes that you know that was smart, you know, and they still fell victim to that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying you smart on another level, because you was strong enough to fight that shit off, to fight the urge. Because I know it probably was days when you was like, Jay, damn, I can make some moves, get a couple of hours quicker.
Easy.
I ain't trying to go to work in this job. But you was smart and strong enough to say, you know what? Nah, cool. You cool.
I also feel like it was the people around me, like the dudes that sold drugs at those moments, they was the ones like really keeping us out the street, like don't.
Solid. You had solid dudes then.
Yeah. What you think changed from that time? Because like, I feel like you had people that was saying don't do it.
But they was outnumbered by the people that was doing it. You see what I'm saying? It's like your mom, your grandma, everybody like, don't do it. You might have an old head or two, don't do it. But it's like, y'all outnumbered, because every time I would leave the house, they out here getting busy. And the people that's getting the attention, the money, they on that side of the game. You telling me to go get a job or try to figure it out, I'm not, they figuring it out. You know, so I think that was the case with me.
Yeah, you know what I think one of the most interesting parts of it is the institutionalization of jail inside, but also with the impact that it has on us outside, right? Because I'm listening to you tell a story, and a lot of things you were saying, I'm like, bro, I grew up on these morals and principles. And we shouldn't have to feel like this. For example, and this might sound crazy to all my niggas that's still in the project in the hood. Snitching, right? Like not snitching, but minding your fucking business.
Minding your business.
In jail, like you mentioned, like, bro, you can get killed for not minding you. Even if you, like your first experience, like you got slammed up, right? You got tussled up. Just by saying, yo, I heard such and such and such, or they got this for, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like you was snitching on somebody.
Yeah.
You was just talking about something, observation. That transfers to the streets, or I don't want to say the streets, but to urban communities where we grew up in as like law. You get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like a lot of those rules that came up in the jail, because that's where our people was raised at. That's where our fathers was raised at. And it transferred to the streets, and it made us live lives that we shouldn't be living early.
And that's real. It's like, I think, you know, a lot of times, you know, especially when I came home from jail and I was with my nephew, my niece, and still be with my little nephews, little Reggie and all them, and, you know, Gil grandkids. I think I get excited when I'm with them, to play with them, to have fun with them, because a lot of us, like me, I didn't have a childhood. I couldn't laugh, I couldn't play, I couldn't go, I had to go figure it out. And that happens a lot of times based off of hardships in the ghetto. It was like, you don't even have a childhood. You out here trying to figure out hustle and be a man, and, you know, especially if you get told you the man in the house and you just trying to, you done.
That's a fact.
Because now you got real life issues where as though you trying to figure out how to get money instead of how to be a kid. How to play, how to laugh, you know, how to come in the house to a hot plate, and a lot of people don't have that, so they lose their childhoods.
Yo, how do you now, right, navigate, and we're gonna go in and out of the story if you allow me to, but how do you navigate that thought process? Because you spent so much time behind bars in prison, right? So like bro, you probably spent more time in jail.
I spent more time in jail than on the free world in my life.
Exactly, so that's all you know for at one point in time, that was all you knew. How do you escape that train of thought when it's out here, when you feel like somebody might be trying to play you, right? Things ain't genuine.
See, I ain't no egomaniac, so I'll be like, I'm the type of dude, I'll be like, damn, I caught that, let me get away from this motherfucker. I ain't the boy that I caught it, I'm gonna check you. I'm the boy, I peep all that shit, because I've been around, I'm talking about slicksters my whole life, so I'm like, I was one, so I'm like, I peeped, you try to pull a move on me, let me get away. Hey, I'm gonna get with you, man. I ain't tripping off of nothing. I'm not doing no ego tripping. I'm not gonna take it like, you know, damn, you try to play me, you think I'm a nut. You know, that's the mentality of us here. Everything is an immediate aggression, and the switch come on a lot of us, because we be like, what, you think I'm a sucker? I'm like, oh, damn, let me get away from him. I mean, this ain't good for me, let me dip. You know what I mean, that's be me.
You think you got that from being inside though?
Yeah.
Because you had to move like
you
that.
You gotta have risk management, man. You gotta know the risk is like, if I go back and forth, it could turn into something more than what it is. If you out here, you got something going on. People will hype up a situation that's not a situation just because you Jay Hill, and you doing something with your life. Damn, Jay, you jump. And you're like, all you had to do is just peep and be like, you know what? All right, bro, I'm gonna get with you, man. Let me go ahead. Get away from you. You ain't got to check. Damn, man, you did this. What? Now, a person, sometimes people be looking for moments to just disrespect you, or looking for moments to be ignorant, or looking for moments to have a fallout, to play the victim. People are always looking to play the victim. Man, Jay on some Hollywood shit, man. Cool, I'm off him, man. You're like, damn, I seen you do something foul. I checked you about it. Now I'm on some Hollywood. So it's just, them altercations, they don't be necessary.
But you couldn't always be like that. What was the light switch? Like, when did you learn?
I never was no brute. So a lot of stuff, I always looked at it like, I ain't gonna trip. And sometimes I knew that certain things was for me, or certain people was for me. I never was the dude that trip out anyway. So, you know what I mean? I always thought, like, I always seen that this is one thing I always seen. One of my favorite, it's like two people that's like my favorite cartoon characters. The Joker and Popeye. Popeye always be Brutus. Brutus never won. He never won. The brutes never win. All that tough shit, I ain't never seen nobody win with the tough shit. So I was like, I like Popeye. I'd rather be Popeye.
So what's your thing? So it's funny because I'm listening to you, and like, that was always my thing, like the feeling like I gotta prove myself. Not prove myself, but you ain't gonna play with me, right? I never really been like a follower per se, but it sounded like, was that your problem, you think? Like that was the thing that held you back the most?
I was a master followers. I think most of us in the street coaches are followers because we ain't doing nothing that haven't been done already. Like we following something that we see, if ever you sit on the steps or you watching it, we following something that we seen somebody do that's in close proximity to us and say, damn, I want to be that, or I want to do this, or I want to get that. And we following them, Jay. It ain't like we just thought of this.
Facts.
Oh yeah, I just thought of this.
Even podcasting, yeah, facts.
Yeah, I just thought of this. I didn't think of that. So it's like, we all followers in different departments of life, especially in the streets though.
But so what would you think was your downfall though? Like what was your downfall? Not just robbing people, but
a lot of times
if you look inside yourself.
I lack patience. I believe sometimes you wasn't sure of yourself, so you seek the approval from outside sources, which is the community, women, people. So I think I had a lot of different issues going on, but I'm just thankful that I was able to embrace the reality in them and say, okay, and check myself with them and be able to identify what was going on inside of me to say, this shit is not going to be beneficial to my journey through life. I got to remove some of these ways, some of these outlooks, the environmental placement. I got to remove a lot of this shit. And then I got to have more environmental awareness. When I say environmental awareness, you got to be aware of your environment and what's going on. And what environments do you feel good in? What environments do you don't feel safe in? What environments that is like, it just feel like it's a battle. So everything, you gotta be environmentally aware of where you where you taking your energy, where you taking your life at, because you'll be like, damn, hold up. Why every time I get around them, I feel uneasy? You ain't supposed to be there. Where do you go where you just like, damn, it's peace here, I feel good here. I feel encouraged here. I can make it happen here. And I think a lot of people don't do that. And you know the funny thing? They ignore the signs because your body tell you. Your body will tell you what's going on. Your mind will tell you what's going on. You be like, every time I get around this motherfucker, it just feel like it's just bad energy, man. Always angry or always trying to, downplay what I'm trying to do, or always just got some bad shit to say about somebody. Why you there?
Bro, you just turned this way up. Hold up. Let's talk about you said, basically the indifferent moments when it's like it's back and forth, conflicting. Mm-hmm. How are you able to acknowledge when it's conflicting and you shouldn't do it versus when you should? Because that can also come from growth, because we know growth is uncomfortable too. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we can run away from something that's conflicting because it's uncomfortable as well. How do you know which one is which?
Like me, a lot of my times be like, one thing I turned off. I ain't got no. I broke my chill button, and I ain't got no my fuck it button. I turned it on and broke it. So my thing is a little different. So if I feel it, I live it. Especially because my whole thing is like, I'm not in the streets no more. I'm not around bullshit no more. So anything that I'm on some go time shit, because I'm trying to materialize these dreams. When I write my notes down, when I put my list together, or the shit I'm doing the next 5 months, when I'm processing all this shit, like, damn, okay, I want to shoot this show. I want to go here. I got to meet these people. I got to go here. I want to sit down with them for 2 days. So let me set this meeting up for them. I just want to get some game from them. I got to go over here. Damn, I got to go on this one tour. I want to vibe out just for a day to myself. Let me get me a hotel, go to that spa in that city, go to my man's show, vibe, and just So I be laying all that out. So I'm not gonna put myself nowhere that's gonna be in danger to my success and my progress of life and in the quality of life that I'm living. So a lot of times it's like my go button always on. I try to put myself in a place where I can always go and go in a good way to uplift, everything I got going on, elevation. That's what it's about. So,
So what I mean is like, so for example, me, I'm coming up, right? I'm gonna just be real. Sometimes I be in rooms where I know it's elevating my career, but it's like, man, I don't want to be here because my mind is still in the hood as far as removed as I am. My mind is still like, it's supposed to look like this.
No, you know what's crazy?
Like it's supposed to, genuine is this. This is a real nigga.
No. See. You gotta deprogram yourself, then reprogram yourself in order to win. See, all that shit you learned in the street, it's gonna be some good things that you might learn, the grind, networking, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you can learn networking by trying to get drugs and trying to do whatever you was doing. But there's a lot of things you're gonna have to delete. It's like if you go somewhere, if I be like, damn man, I'm gonna give you the phone. You're gonna try to, let me I'm gonna clean the phone out first.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times you gotta delete that shit. You gotta delete that mindset and that mentality, because you'll be in a room that really could change your life, but you want some ghetto hood cool shit. Man, I don't fuck with nobody, man. I ain't no dick eater. And that whole mentality, it'll have you prisoner in a world that you're not even living in no more. Based off a mentality that you grew up in an environment that produced you holding on to some shit that ain't never been beneficial to you. So you sitting back and you like, man, I ain't no dick eater. I ain't talking to them. I ain't saying none to them. Like, and I know that changed for you probably because when I seen you at the Blue Van Draws joint, you was moving around, kicking it with people. I mean, you had a long conversation there. So it's like, that's what's paralyzing a lot of people. You had dudes as artists and rappers. And I didn't got on the phone, kicked it with something. And I was like, damn, you need features. Man, I don't be fucking with niggas, man. I ain't no dick eater. Okay, you ain't got nothing coming. You ain't trying to collab. You ain't trying to get your team stronger. You ain't trying to do nothing. You just think some people pulls it like you because no, this thing is about team. Teamwork make the dream work. And it's about being in the right rooms and environment, because all you looking for is one yes. One major yes could change. And a lot of times, what you think is thorough, what you think loyalty look like, what you think cool look like, it ain't none of that shit that we learned in the hood. Because it's gonna be somebody you least expect that will come and change your fucking life. The people that came and changed me and Gil's life, financially, you ain't gonna see them walking down North Philly.
Ain't look nothing like
white
that.
folks. You ain't gonna see them walking down there. But they came and believed in our product, believed in our brand that we was building, and they said we want to partner up with y'all, man. And they gave us a licensing deal and it changed our life forever. So my whole thing is like, I just think a lot of times in the hood, that hood keep us in the hood, even if we move out the hood. We could be around the world, and it's still we be on some hood shit, and it'll paralyze us from growth. It's like you put yourself in a wheelchair and you can walk. So now your movement is slow.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? Your resources is slow. So it's like, I just think it's that you just gotta wait for that one yes and it'll change your fucking life. You know what I mean? That's all you need, that one yes, and the game is over.
Yo, it's so crazy to hear you say that. But what about, I feel like sometimes your success, you can be a prisoner of your success too, not even just the hood. For example, you come out 2017, you probably doing whatever you gotta do for an opportunity, right? Then you get the opportunity, but let's fast forward. Now I'm not taking those same opportunities. I don't need that, right? But sometimes sometimes that grind that got you there will continue to keep you there. But we see ourselves as bigger than that now. Do you find yourself like mentally fighting with those type of thoughts?
No, I don't find myself mentally fighting them, though, because it might be an opportunity that I was dying to get in 2017. I'm talking about a real life moment changing opportunity that I was dying to get in 2017. That relationship that I was dying to get in 2000, or that moment that I was dying to get in 2000, or that yes might pay my bills for 3-4 months back then because of the money. And I was like, damn, I could get this. Now, in 2024, financially, it wouldn't make sense for me. But relationship-wise, it will. You know what I'm saying? So it's people that I know that could call me right now and based off of relationship wise, I'm gonna move out because when I was there, they made sure that I remember the moments. But not just that, it ain't even about the paper because I might don't even want no paper. It might be like, no, I got it. Let me do that for you. Because the person that might be right here, you got to always remember that. That person that's right here, you don't know who they connected to right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Because they might have something going on. They might not have the finances, but they got the network. Like a lot of people, like that's why things, a lot of these situations out here in these business, it got to be mutually beneficial. Because you might do something for somebody and it ain't about giving you nothing. It's about, damn, they might go make a phone call for me one day. That could be a life-changing phone call based off of where they went to college. Based off who they frat brothers, who they sorority sisters is. So, you got to be mindful of that. So I don't look at it like that. I don't be looking down on situations because I'll be like, man, it's all type of people, man. I pull up and make sure, you see what I'm saying? Like, all right, think about this. I could go on mostly any platform I want to. And I could go on these platforms based off of friendships that I had with these different people. That's big in our culture and outside of our culture. But it was important to me to make sure I do your platform because it ain't about me telling you I'm gonna do it, but it's also about encouraging you and showing other people that who you could get on here and the respect that I got for you. And the other people say, damn, I seen Wallo on that joint, man. That's a good joint. And I understand that. Now, I look at it like this. Yeah, I'm hot. And I remember this, rest in peace to Clay. Lil Duval, he was T.I. Manager's brother. Clay said was something that's very important. When you piping hot, you got to do something for the people that's warm or lukewarm or whatever. Because you will never know when you might become lukewarm and they might be popping hot, or you might become, cold and they piping hot. And they could just they could heat you back up. So you never know. I don't never look at this thing because me personally, I don't plan on being in the podcast space for a long time. Me and Gil don't plan for that. Me and Gil think about the days where we just somewhere on the farm just talking shit to each other and just lounging. People don't understand how much of a consistency and how you can never take off when you're in the space that we're in. So we don't look at it like that. But you know what I mean? I don't, and it ain't even about favors, but I don't know, where you might be in 10 years. And I could be able to, my niece and nephew might call me and be like, oh, kids, damn, you know him? Who, Jay? Yeah, I know Jay. And it might be as simple as a little cool moment. Let me call. Hey, you don't know him? Jay, talk. Simple as that. It ain't about you giving me nothing. It ain't about you even making me hot again if I was cold. It's just about the simple fact of a lot of times in our culture, we don't know how to say, you know what? Let me take out some time and give it to some people that's coming up. Or let me take out some time and share some of this game, share some of this information, and share my presence. Because I remember when I was like you, Jay, I was running around with a phone and a tripod, and these dudes, they were sitting down with me, and I didn't have no big platform. I was trying to create a platform, and the first one that sat down with me when I first started Where's Wallo, if you go back, the first interview was Meek. Mm-hmm. And then a sister called me, and that interview that Meek gave me it gave me that it just put that stamp on me. That not just that, it put the stamp on me that other people could see something now to say, damn, let me get him an interview too. And that's the same thing. You already got a bunch of successful people in there, but I just want to add to your whole discography, or your whole catalog to add more value to you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when I look at them people that I pulled up. When I pulled up, I'm in New York. I called Charlamagne. I'm like, yo, man, I'm in New York, man. I'd love to sit you down for Where's Wallo. Where you at, Wallo? I'm going to get this suit. Tell her, pull up. I pulled up. We sat there. I put my tripod up. We sat there in his tailor when he was getting the suit, and he gave me an interview. Shot the West Side Gun, Jadakiss, G Herbo, Lil Baby, Dirk. You see what I'm saying? If you go back and look at, and I was doing it all off a phone. They ain't say you got a phone, I ain't gonna do it. They say no, but you building, I respect it. And it wasn't, I don't even think it was about, later on, Wallo, I might need you. It was just, it was what it was, and I respect it as that. So I got to remember that when people that's doing their thing on the come up, I make it my thing to make time to throw some more flavor on them. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it.
I appreciate that so
Yes,
much.
sir.
Yo, I don't want to spend too much time on the trenches and things. One thing, we was just talking about this off camera, and I know you gotta go soon. You be giving a lot of game. No pun intended, because of course, $1 million per game, but I haven't seen, and I don't think people know how much game you really be, the sauce you really be giving on this podcast stuff.
No, I be every time, you know, it be airports, it be all type of place. Like that's what the whole point of me doing. And you know what I got to do? I never posted it, but I'm gonna make sure I'm get my managers and them. I got to make sure I post PodCon on my YouTube, because PodCon was when I called some of my friends, Angie, the owner Shade Room. I called Charlemagne. I called Brian Anderson, the head of podcast at YouTube. I called a bunch of people and I brung them there. My man Herb, he talked about credit, and I put him in a room for 5,000 people for free. For free. It was free. PodCon. PodCon was to teach people how to start and monetize a podcast. But there's other people that came and they got information to do other things. And not just a podcast, a platform. Because Angie got a platform. The Shade Room is a platform.
One of the biggest.
Because I'm big on that. I ain't charge nobody nothing. Because I think I spent probably like $80,000 for the venue, the stuff, everything, you travel, you know. But I just think that it's important that we school people, because like a lot of people doing podcasts, but they always like, how do I get the money? And like a lot of times I always tell them, the money is right there. The money is the local business. The money is your first, the local business is your first sponsors. That's where you find sponsorships. It's all about how you present it to them, how you step to them, how you lay it out, but they got money.
If you allow me, right, let's go back. When you and Gil first started $1 Million per game, y'all was in a small studio, right? What was the thought process behind how y'all was gonna do the business? Because we see.
We did that from the rip. Like, you understand, at that time, this was me and my ex-fiance was together, April, out of Baltimore, Diva Glam, and I came right on there and I made an example commercial from the rip. As soon as we started, this episode of $1 Million Worth of Game is brought to you by Diva Glam. Have you had any good hair lately? If you trying to, and I was promoting her company just for free, just off an example of what an ad would look like. I had to show people what a commercial on $1 Million Worth of Game would look like. Now, I already came up in a space where, as though I used to do commercials for people myself. When I first came home, I would go to I think I probably did 30 different businesses, and I did them for free. I go to John, like, yo, man, Jay, can I do a commercial for you? You'd be like, huh? Like, yeah, let me just do a.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. What are your self-care non-negotiables? It's hard to make time for the things that keep you healthy. But being consistent with self-care is like working a muscle. And when life gets crazy, that muscle keeps you strong. Therapy is the ultimate self-care. And BetterHelp makes it easy to get started with affordable online sessions you can do from anywhere. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com today to get 10% off your first month.
Commercial. And I wanted to show people the proof of concept of what a commercial would look like on my page before I start charging. And I'd do it. I'd be like, yeah, man, I'm right down here. I'm at Jay Hill Barbecue Shack, man. He got the best barbecue in Philly, whatever it may be. I'd be like, Jay, tell him what you got going on. I do that mini video. And it started to get traction where other people call me like, can I get a video? How much you charge? I'd be like, nothing at first. And then I start building it up into turn it to basically like an ad agency and stuff, a marketing agency. And so by the time I got to, we started $1 Million Worth of Game, I already knew how to go. I already knew what to do.
I want to stay on the podcast business because I want to, this is my shit right here. But I want to pause that and say, that's the one thing that was interesting about your story. Usually when you hear people go to jail, they study like law and stuff so they can see how they can get out. You was like, I'm gonna study marketing so I can market myself to these parole hearing people.
No, not even the parole hearing people like all the way. It's about marketing, period. Like you gotta market who you are to be able to get relationships, to get in certain places as a person. And then after that, I said to myself, after, you gotta think about this. In this life, after God, everything is marketing. Who you vote for, where you buy your food, what you fly, how you fly, what you drive, what you wear, what gym you go to, everything, what you watch. Everything on this planet is about marketing. Everything. I said, okay, that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing on this planet. So I said, that's where it's at. That's where everything stopped. Everything got to go through marketing. Everything.
Yeah. Especially when you're talking about these advertising. Like advertising ain't never gonna go out of business.
Never.
Never. So all right, come back to this. All right, so I'm gonna say something to you that young dudes, we always think this, right? And I'm curious because I'm sitting next to the person who's living. Man, them niggas already had a name. Gil was a rapper, right? We see people talk about this more about Joe Budden than anybody else. Like man, this nigga was a rapper, bro. He was always lit. You know what I'm saying? You came home to Gilly. Gilly was that nigga.
Yeah.
So when some people would say, man, it was easy to start the podcast and get popping. Mm-hmm. What was your experience?
Think about this. Think about somebody that played basketball. I don't think it's gonna be easy for them just to play soccer. You gotta actually be good in it. You gotta actually, put the work in. I think a lot of times people don't look at the work. They don't look at all them episodes. They don't look at all the time. They don't look at the beginning. They don't look at the work of me and Gil outside of the episodes, getting up every day, going hard still to now. Look at the body of work. It's all there. We don't take nothing down. So I think it's about I understand that could be somebody's frustration, but we come from a community sometimes of excuse makers. Everybody is always looking for an excuse of why not to move out, why not to max out, why not to say, I'm doing this and I'm doing this for the next 12 months until pop. Or I'm doing this for the next 18 months until pop. We always looking for an excuse of why not to, and sometimes them people that want to make the excuse, they not meant to be on the floor. They're not meant to be on the field. They meant to be in the stands watching the game. They meant to be, a lot of people is meant to watch the winners. And people don't want to, and I think that's the issue that we got in our community where people don't want to embrace that truth. No, you're not. No, you're just meant to watch the winner. Grab your popcorn and watch me work. Watch this movie. You're not meant to be the star. Them the people that's going to make the excuses. Them the people that's going to complain it. They just meant to be hecklers in the stand or watching the movie or cheering for the stars, but they not meant to be in the movie.
Yo, since you're so transparent with the numbers, I want to know. I'm a podcaster. I love this business shit, bro. How was y'all able to figure out which numbers y'all should charge at? Because I worked with some people that tried to work with y'all that couldn't afford y'all. Mm-hmm. How was y'all able to measure the numbers versus the views? And give me the game of the numbers and the metrics and money at the early point before we even get to Barstool.
Early, we knew our value.
Where was y'all able to get it from?
Cultural impact. You can't put a price on that. You can't really put a price on that, so you come up with your own number.
So how do you measure cultural impact? Because that's something that people overlook.
Like a lot of people, you put numbers in your mind, and sometimes it's like what you feel as though you're worth, and sometimes you come to a middle ground. This is what you say you're worth. This is what our budget is. Let's battle. And then sometimes it's a back and forth. Y'all playing ping pong, bing, bing, or tennis, boom, and then y'all come to an even ground.
So you telling me you went out to multiple car dealerships, multiple businesses, and yo, I want you to advertise on my podcast for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
How many do you think what was the percentage of people you went out to the people that actually paid?
Everybody but bit that we went out to. I had a trucking company. I had Boyd's Funeral Home. I had Springfield Hyundai. I had a lot of stuff. I had a lot of different joints, man. Springfield Hyundai got to the point where as though they told me, watch, let me see if I call this one.
Come on, man, get the game, man.
Let me see if I call the one place, and a lot of people don't understand that. Right here.
Put it on speakerphone.
Hello.
Asia, how you doing?
Hey, Wallo, how are you?
I'm on this podcast, right? And I always talk about you when I'm on podcasts because I talk about it ain't on, I don't think. I talk about how y'all was one of the first people that I had as a sponsor on $1 Million Worth of Game back in the day, right? And I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk about the story of how you remember the time you called me and said stop advertisement, and why did you tell me to stop advertising?
Because I was getting too many bodies?
Yeah. So you got to think about it. She told me to stop advertising because our advertisement was so good that so many people was taking the bodies to a funeral home to do funerals with her. This early in the game. And I only did like 3 posts on $1 million worth of game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she gave me some nice paper. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like, but I'm gonna call you another time. I just wanted to explain to this young fella how it was at the beginning.
Right, because somebody else had called me and asked me, is that typical to do that type of promo? Because I think they wanted to reach out to you. And I was like, to be honest, I just seen him. I was following you before you became who you are now. And I seen you at a Reezy funeral. And I was like, it's my time. God just led me to you. Mm-hmm. And I just said, I got to ask him. You know what I mean? Because I just believed in you.
And it happened.
Honestly, it happened. No contract, no nothing. I'm like, I'll get it to you. I'll figure out how to get it to you, and that's just what it was.
And you made your money back triple.
Oh,
10
listen,
times.
now what? I probably do 40 cases a month.
See? And how much was you doing when you first got with us?
I don't know, probably maybe 5, maybe somewhere between 5 and 10. Thank you.
All right, well, listen, you have a good day, man. Let me finish this show.
Okay, all right.
All right, Agent.
All right, okay.
So I feel, again, I think that's something that the businesses want. Now, when I'm hearing cultural impact, that's not direct impact.
Oh no, they ain't got nothing to do with her. They ain't got nothing to do with her. But I'm just telling you how the ads come. But what I'm saying is this. That's when you got the impact of the culture fuck with you. See, you got to understand this. You can't teach what you don't know, and you can't lead where you don't go. We are the culture. We with the culture. We deal with the culture. A lot of people that's from our culture, they try to tell these white folks, or they try to go out there and act like they with us, and they don't fuck with us. They don't fuck with the people. We deal with the people. We got the people behind us, and you can't measure that. And that's what makes us a little different.
Yo, so when y'all get signed to Barstool, right? You said it's a licensing deal. What exactly is that? For the people that don't know.
A licensing deal is when you're licensing, like you would take this and you'll license it to somebody, and they could use it for a certain amount of time, but you're licensed, you own 100% of this, but you're licensing it to them so they can get advertisement dollars and y'all could bust the money down together based off of their relationships.
So I peep, and I don't know if I'm wrong or right, I peep y'all doing a lot of other content for Barstool now. Mm-hmm. We got Gilly on Sports, we got Adventures, we got, you even got some shit, yeah. Are y'all doing so much content for Barstool to try to get that?
No. We just come up with new shit.
So that has nothing to do with the licensing deal for...
No, it ain't got nothing to do with, it's like we could just come up with stuff just because we want more paper. You know what I'm saying? It's not contractually that we got to do anything outside of $1 million worth of game.
Oh, shit.
We just love to build more IP. We're building more intellectual property. And I got shows in my phone that you never seen that's already shot. I'm talking about whole new shows. Okay. Gil got whole new show. It's like we just building the company because we just love to, we just know how to do it. We got our own equipment. We got our own team. It's just easy for us.
See, I was pocket watching the wrong way. I'm thinking you know how artists have a album, they gotta put out a certain amount of albums.
Oh no, we ain't gotta do nothing. The only thing we gotta do is a license deal, 52 shows a year, $1 million worth of game. That's it. Everything else is added. So that's just more money coming to us from different sales, avenues.
Yo, so okay, about $1 million per game. Y'all been doing this for a little while now. How are you feeling now about it? Because it's like, people in the comments, niggas like, man, Wallo is over this shit, man. How do you feel about it?
That's never the case. That's the baby. We doing it. It can't be the case. We giving you top flight shit, great interviews with people that never interview. We got a spot where as though, me, I ain't no comment warrior. I don't pay attention to that. You got people that just comment just because. What you doing, it don't really matter to me. My thing is about just bringing people to stuff. If you pay attention, just like the 50 Cent interview, it was $1 million worth of game all through that month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think as you get with a person like me, by me getting so seasoned and turned into more of a veteran in this game, I know how to approach this shit even better in an interview style. And I'm looking for certain things as I'm pulling to get information that the fan can use, that the viewer can use. I work for the viewers now. So by me working for the viewers, it's not about my personal, what I want to know. It's about, damn, when I sit there in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I gotta get a bunch of stuff that these people could learn from that they wanna know if they was here. And that's what it's about.
Yo, how have you seen yourself grow as an interviewer? Because like even now, like when I watch it, I see you, like you're intentional about the questions that you ask, like how you do research. Whereas though in the beginning it wasn't as much. How have you seen yourself grow?
I think it's, everybody could grow in time. You know what I'm saying? I just think I'm just well aware that it's people that I know I can help off of one question. It can change their whole approach to whatever they're doing, especially on the business side, the artist side, whatever you got. A lot of people in our culture, they trying to figure this shit out. And I just think when I get somebody there, I'm trying to just get information that people want to know. And that's what's important.
Yeah, I feel like both times I seen you, was like, yo, how much money you made? Like, how much you
I always
money
ask you that.
Yeah,
I always ask you that because, and I'm asking you because I want to make sure that you're not devaluing yourself or you're not just taking a couple dollars, because a lot of times people will just think, oh, that's cool. Nah, everything got to make sense. The equipment you buy, it got to match what you got coming in. Everything to travel, because me, I'll be like, okay, I will hope that you made your money back off all your equipment from a bank. And a lot of times as a podcaster, I'm going to sit down there the way I am. I'm going to break the whole thing down and say, was it worth it? Sometimes when you're at a certain level, you got to write down the travel costs. How much it costs to book the room that you're going to shoot it in. How much did you make off this? How much you going to make off this to not only get that back, to still pay for your equipment? Is you renting your equipment? Do you own your equipment? Is your equipment even necessary? Is you at that place where you need all this equipment? So I'm thinking about all that shit in the process to say, okay, this is what you should be making, or this is what you should be doing, or you know what? This is what you should do. I know you got all this. Sell us all equipment, sell his equipment. Do that shit on the phone, or do it on this one camera and just get the one main shot and sit there. Because if your content is good, it ain't gonna be about angles, it ain't gonna be about a lot of shit. It's gonna be about the content. Because like I told you, I shot multiple series of seasons of Where's Wallo with an iPhone, the biggest artist in the world, some of the biggest athletes. So my whole thing is like, I'm looking at, okay, let me write this down. How do this make sense? How do you make money off of this? And sometimes the money is not physical money. The money is, and that's what people need to understand, the money is not physical money. You could 10x your whole visibility and everything if somebody take this interview and you just seeing clips on 30 different platforms. That's money. Because you can always go and you can cash that in one day, because that's cultural impact. So it's like people could take, damn, let me take this joint, let me chop this up. You see that joint? Damn, he said this, he dropped it on, damn, over there they said this. Oh, he got, and that's where you start building your stuff up. Because you could take them views off of all them platforms and leverage them. Yeah, this type of stuff I get. You got it all on the deck, you showing them, like, it's deep. And that's what it's about.
I never even think about it.
Yeah, it's not just about money. See, it's about, because like you might go and you might say to yourself, damn, man, in the last year I spent 60, 70, 80,000, 100,000 doing this podcast thing. I never really made money. I probably made 10,000. But you probably made more money and impact than you would have did if you would have got physical money. You see what I'm saying? Because that 100,000 you probably spend in travel, lodging, equipment, booking this room, booking that, and going here and team and all this shit. It might be in cultural impact. That shit might be worth 800,000.
But again, how do you measure that though?
Like, you measure it by, you can see it, the matrix. You can see it everywhere. When it's everywhere, that's how you measure it. Like it's just like you could just see it. It's like, it's a feeling, it's the energy, the people going to talk about it. It's just that. But I just think a lot of times, you know how you see sports, you be like, damn. Sometimes, you can measure it by numbers. You know how the players be like, damn, he got all that money. How the fuck he get all that money? Especially in the sports game, you be like, how the fuck he get all that money?
Facts, yeah, that's 100%. Yo, it was a point in jail before you got your GED. I think you were saying a part of you getting your GED was like, not just for you, but so you could feel more confident as well. Like almost like this sense of like feeling like worthy.
Yeah.
And I was curious, do you still sometimes feel that outside of prison when it comes to these businesses, these rooms that you're in, the people you're around?
No. When I go into these rooms, they looking at proof of concept. I got proof of concept. I ain't go to Harvard. I ain't go to Yale. Warren School of Business is in Philadelphia, University of Pennsylvania, one of the greatest, biggest, business schools in the world. I ain't go there. I'm doing it in real time, though. I'm building stuff and marketing it in real time. So it's a big difference now. So I ain't even got to talk. We ain't talking about no education. We talking about proof.
Do you think other people try to treat you differently because you ain't go to these institutions? You ain't come up?
Nah, I've never had them issues. They want results. They want to be able to, partner up and collaborate with people that know how to move and shake and know what they're doing. They don't be caring about that shit. It's just all about your belief, your confidence, and your results, man, because you can't deny proof of concept. You can't deny that shit. It's real. You can feel it. You can see it. You can smell it. It's just a big difference.
Yo, I seen you at Blue Party. We wrapping up soon. And I asked you, I said, yo, do you feel like Wallo 267? And you was like, man, this ain't nothing. I already knew I was gonna be here, basically. And I'm like, nah, it gotta be some feeling of like.
No, I already knew. When I say that, I already knew that I was gonna do something right with my life. So I don't be looking at, I ain't tripping off of like, I'm not trying to get in position to flex on you, flex on him, flex on this. I don't care about that. So I'm just like, all right, okay, doing my thing. All right, so what? The air I breathe ain't no different from yours. It ain't better than yours. So what? I ain't better than you. You ain't better than me. So it's like, what I'm supposed to be hype about?
So what I'm asking is sometimes just like, because that's gratitude, right? But what about like just that moment of acknowledging who you are and how far you've come, bro? Because, bro, my nigga, you got out in 2017. And you probably one of the biggest names around the world right now, bro. That's not normal.
I don't even look at it like that. I guess that's probably why I'm cool about it. I don't be tripping off it like that. I just be like, damn, I got to get up and go hard today. I mean,
so where's the gratitude? Where does the gratitude play this? Because if we look at it like that all the time, I'm thinking about God now, right?
Yeah.
Fuck the Instagram, fuck the numbers, money, all that, right? I'm thinking about God in life, right? How do you really appreciate what you have? If
oh,
you
no.
always...
One thing about me, I'm thankful to God. You see what I'm saying? Because God gonna test you, then he gonna bless you. And that's that. But it still be like, I guess I don't be like hype off of how people might see me, because I don't be seeing me like that. I just be seeing me like, damn, I'm family, I'm Wallo, I'm your cousin. You see what I'm saying? From around the way. That's how I look at it. You see what I'm saying? I'm on. So it'd be like, I don't be tripping.
So how do you measure the next accomplishment for you? Like for me, right? So, I mean, I'm very confident, but at the end of the day, I know that I've been working for this, right? And it's like, this is like a goal of mine. I'm like, bro, I can look at myself and say I'm proud of it. I can look at myself like, y'all, I really came a long way, bro. How do you measure that for yourself?
I don't know, man. I think when I be listening to music, a lot of times I get emotional and it catch me that I did so much.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
It'd be like, damn. I'll be looking, I'll be like, damn, man, Sometimes, especially when I'm by myself, I'm listening to my music, I'm laying back, and I'll be like, yo, this shit is wow.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
You know what I mean? I'll be like, and it just be like a dream sometimes,
There's the times where I remember like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, like even thinking about it, like sometimes I cry, like just like this, bro, where we come from, bro.
You don't do this. You can't do this. You don't even lead the neighborhood, let alone jump on a plane, let alone say, I'm gonna move to make my life better for me. You don't do that. You see what I'm saying? Like that's impossible where we come from. You know what I mean? So it's always a blessing to be able to have the opportunity and for people to be able to see you that come from the environment that you come from, and it can encourage them like, oh, damn, Jay did that? I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Jay made that. He moved to where? Oh, man. Wallo went where? On the plane? Bro, man, I was running around this joint catching $17 megabus. I'm talking about, man, I was so good, I'd get me a flight in a hotel, motel, wherever, to LA for under $200. I was a master of that stuff, finding that stuff. And I go out there in 24 hours, be back, shoot my content, do interviews with people. I remember one day I went to LA. It was like 24-hour run. I went there. I had content, me and Game. I was in the studio with Game. I interviewed G Perico. I interviewed OT Genesis. And Dane called me over to his studio to introduce me to Ye. And that was like in 24 hours. I stayed in like a hotel near the airport. I think I got bit that night, bed bugs. But it didn't matter. I was always getting bed bugs biting on the first journey when I was coming home. Because I'm staying at any joint. I mean, I'm staying at any hotel I could stay at. You know what I mean? So it was about making it happen. I think them moments really, really helped me. Because I was just so happy because I'm moving around for the first time in my life. I never left. I never used to leave Philly, jump on the planes and none of that. So for me to jump on a plane, it don't take no money. Or I'm jumping on Amtrak, shooting down, I'm doing like, man, it was just crazy. I'm driving my Prius. I'm tearing the East Coast up, going here, my minivan. I just think, man, I hope people seen that and say, damn, I'm gonna go after mines too.
Yo, $1 million worth of game, bro. Podcom free. You running up on the camera's motivation. Everything you're doing, it seems like, is to motivate the niggas that come from where we come from, not to make the same decisions that you made.
That and just people in general that's in that dark place. You know, man, people be beating themselves up. And I always talk about how people, they bigger hater. You your biggest hater. And it's like, people just give up, man. They think because they was homeless, they think because they was on drugs, it's over. And I'm like, yo, man, even with my book, it's like, that's what Home With Good Intentions is about. I want you to get out of that you like, it ain't never over, Jay. It's never over.
But that motivation, what you doing for the people, why, bro? What's your why? Like, why is that so important?
You know, when I was in jail, I think people only think about help when they need it. They never think about help when they could give it. And I used to think about, damn, I needed, it was days I needed to push. I couldn't get it. I got it through music in jail or reading or looking at Anthony Bourdain. But it was like, I know how we always want help, but nobody want to help us. Nobody want to give help. So I said, I'm going to get the help that I want. I need that push. So I said, I'm going to be that push for other people. I'm just a pusher. A pusher and a reminder, like, yo, come on, man. Come on, keep moving. You got this. Because a lot of times I know a lot of people is around a lot of pullers. Why are you doing that? You tripping. You doing too much. Come on, you can't do that. You know?
That's another part of the institutionalization. Well, we done for real, bro. But even like, I remember when you said, when you first went in for your parole hearing, right? And you was granted it. And you was excited, but it was like almost where we talk about crabs in a barrel. We ain't seen crabs in a barrel for shit. Cause when I'm listening to that, when I'm reading that, I'm like, oh, ain't no bigger crabs in a barrel than this. You can't even express your excitement for being about to get out because niggas is in there trying to hold you down.
Yeah, so once you can get through that, this out here is easy. And there's more people in jail in the free world than it is in prison. They prisoners to their thoughts. They prisoners to their idea. They're just prisoners to other people's opinion. We live in a time now where people fear a person's opinion on social media more than they fear God. God tell you not to do all this stuff in the Quran, the Bible. He tell you not to do all this stuff. You do it anyway. But you ain't scared of God, what he gonna do to you, but you scared of somebody, you more scared of somebody's opinion. Oh no, I can't do this because they gonna say this. I can't do this because they gonna say this. I can't do this because they gonna think this. Fuck them.
Come on, bro. All With Good Intentions is out right now. I think it's number one on Amazon, top 200.
No, number one on Amazon hip hop. It was number one on Amazon's motivation, new releases. It was number one in a couple categories.
Bro, you a nigga from the hood, bro. Come on, dog. Come on, man. You wrote this your first book.
Yeah.
How it feel, bro?
It feel good, and it's just like, you know, it's a great thing. I'm just showing people that, like, you could do it too. That's all it's about. Like, you know what I mean? And I came from behind the 8 ball, 20 years behind the 8 ball. Come back out here and just figuring it out, you know? And that's what it's about.
I appreciate you so much, man.
Appreciate
For
you,
real.
Jay, for coming, making the time to figure it out. I told you, my word is my rep. I told you, I said, when the book, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You hit me like, yo, tomorrow? I'm like, fuck
And
it.
I was like,
we
no,
out.
because I knew I had the time because I've been running around city to city doing this. What's the name? I said, damn, tomorrow.
I made it work. She ain't got
I gotta get the time so I can try to, make this happen. And
How many times you see niggas drop the ball on like that? Like, cause they say success is when preparation meets opportunity. Like, not saying we wouldn't have did it again, but
I'm not saying people drop the ball, but I know I don't know the situation. You got kids, you might have to watch the kid. You don't know, but I just said it wasn't like it wasn't gonna happen. I probably had to catch you in Atlanta, but I'm like, this is a good time, and I ain't want to run. I ain't want to be moving around doing press, and don't forget the press, our press. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. So that was important. I'm like, damn, it's right now. It's fresh weekend. It's going down. I got to make sure. You know what I mean? And I told you I was gonna do it, so I just wanted to stand on my word. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know what I mean? So I just hope. If you watch this, you got some information from it. Like, subscribe, share, J Hill Podcast, and show the brother some support.
if this ain't motivation to the niggas coming up, man, I don't know what it is, man. My nigga Wallo, Mr. J Hill Podcast is rap. We out. That was great, bro.